Hello everybody. I am back. I apologize if anybody thought I disappeared over winter break, because I kind of did. But yeah, holidays just kind of got in the way and stuff happened, and well, I'm back now. So now I may change up my schedule. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be right now because this next semester, obviously I have a different class load. Need to figure out how that's going to work out, and I will let you guys know beforehand, well beforehand, when I'm changing the stream time and what that time will be, so that you guys know. Hopefully I'm gonna make it earlier because I know a lot of you guys are stuck with dealing with the fact that the stream's at like obscene times at night. So I'm gonna try to make it earlier, so I can hopefully remedy that for some people. Otherwise, we'll just see if we could keep it around the same time. I don't want it to go later because then it just becomes a total issue. So stream times might change. That's thing one. Thing two is I did quite a bit, I have to say, between this video and the last video. Not because I wanted to, but because I kind of had to. So I'll show you guys right now. Oh goodness. Okay, for some reason. Oh, okay. So for some reason, my internet is clonking out on me, and the stream's going to be stuttering for some reason. I don't know if I could fix that right now, but yeah, I don't think I could fix that. Hopefully it goes back to normal, but please let me know if it... oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so I see. Something happened, and my broadcasting software just kind of conked out for a minute. So it should be back to normal in a second here, but hopefully if you guys keep on getting stuttering issues, please let me know, and I'll see if I can restart the stream and fix it. But otherwise, if it's working fine for you guys, then I'm just gonna continue. So anyway, I did a whole bunch of stuff between this video and the last video. First major thing I did was I actually bumped up the BPM because I don't remember what it was at last time. Where's my notes? Oh no, that was a different note. But so I think what we had it at last time was like 106 or something. But when I started trying to put vocals into it, I realized that's way too slow for the style of vocals that I had. And so I ended up bringing up the BPM by just enough so that it works. And additionally, one of the other things I did was this area that used to not have any kick and clap, I just kind of extended this out. So nothing more than me just copying a whole bunch of stuff. So you didn't really miss anything there. Nothing too amazing. I just kind of extended this out, copied all these things that were originally just in this area. I copied them out to this whole area so I'd have more room while recording. And other than that, I did one major thing. This. So I recorded tons of vocals, and like I said, I can't, I don't think I could sing. So we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so let me see if I could check the stream again here. Hopefully. Okay, so it looks like it didn't get worse. Yeah, for some reason when I was playing the intro track there, my computer froze up and I was like, oh crap, am I gonna have to restart my computer right now? But fortunately I didn't. But at the same time, it kind of made YouTube get mad. So yeah, Finland is world champions. I gotta say, I don't watch soccer. So, sorry people. I don't watch football, soccer, anything, any sports. I'm not a sport guy. But, okay, so without further ado, we have a whole bunch of stuff here. It's all stacked in one spot. Now, one of the things that I've done here, which is actually a good thing to talk about, is if you ever end up recording a vocalist, it's very good to know that if you loop a section of the track, what'll happen is it will record over that section. When it gets to the end, it will go back to the beginning and record another take. So what we have here is let's see if I can see these better, because basically don't do this to me. 3, 5, here we go. So this one right here has 32 takes, so that means there is a whole ton of takes in this stack right here, and I'll show you how we're gonna work with these later. But for now, just realize all I did was I cycled an area and then I hit record, and it automatically just does this in an audio track. So by far, it is one of my favorite recording features of Logic. So it's really awesome, makes things really easy, and you'll see when we start to go through the different takes and figure out what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. And there's probably some comedic things in there because I messed up a few times. well, it actually gets really easy when we have it laid out like this. But at the same time, also keep in mind that none of these, they're all stacked in the same spot. So musically, you wouldn't do this, like have all the vocals right there. I just recorded them in one area, muted them, and then recorded the next section, muted that, recorded the next section, and we'll see how this works out. So I do want to say I have a full set of vocals for this, but I don't know if we'll keep it, because I mean I just spent like 3 hours before starting the stream here. I spent 3 hours trying to figure out some lyrics, and then well, actually my sister wrote some lyrics. I tweaked them up a little bit, and then I started recording vocals. So if the full vocals don't work, I have a whole bunch of improv, or we could just take the original vocals and cut them up, and we could do some deep house sort of things, and or just vocal chops in general. So that'll be fun stuff, and we'll get into that in just a bit here. So are you any good at comping? What do you mean by comping? I'm kind of not quite sure what you're saying there. But okay, so I need to figure out what the heck everything is, because when I recorded all this, I don't remember any of it. So, and I did want to mention, I have a compressor on here. There is no reason really that I slapped that compressor on there. I just want a compressor on it. So we'll just turn that all off for now. But one of the things I'm going to warn you is these vocals are going to sound like 100% out of place. But as long as they don't sound musically terrible, we should be able to actually get them to fit. Because when you have just like a 100% dry vocal, it tends to be very... it just sounds out of place. It's like, why is that vocal there? Because it doesn't sound like... It sounds like someone's talking over a song. So that's kind of what we're going to have to deal with for the first little bit when we start to arrange things. But I don't know. We might not get into that today, because actually... with how much I have in terms of vocals, I may need to actually go through and structure out the song and then place the vocals in the right spot and start doing that, which isn't that big of a deal because I came up with something else because I was able to bring my MIDI keyboard down, which means I don't have to use the keyboard on screen. I could actually just do stuff in normally. And that actually helped me come up with something for a drop. I don't know if you call it a drop when it's in Tropical House. But it's basically, just like an alternate thing to happen. So we may end up doing that. I don't know. What's the vote? Do we want to do vocals first, or do we want to do like structuring out the song and then put the vocals in later? What's the vote? So I'll wait for some feedback on that really quick. At the same time, I don't know. YouTube is not telling me anymore whether or not my stream is fine or dead. So I honestly don't know what the deal is. So it's just saying like my stream's being like terrible, but at the same time it looks like it's playing fine. I'm not sure. So let's see. Do we have companies going to take 30 hours like that many vocal shakes? Pick each one of the... Oh, yes and no. Okay, so song... Wait. Okay. So yeah, by way of comping, I actually did... back when I was doing vocals for my other project that some of you guys may have seen, other project as in the other artist name I was under, I did actually do quite a bit of comping, and there were some cases where I comped things really well, but it's been ages since I've done that because I haven't actually had raw takes to work with because I don't have a vocalist. So okay, so what it looks like we have one person saying song and then vocals, and two people say straight up vocals. So I kind of want to work with the vocals just because that'll give us an idea about whether or not we should keep them. So let me pull up the lyric sheet really quick here. Okay, so now this is gonna be really like when I was showing my Surreal Panorama project, this is gonna be really embarrassing for me because singing is not one of the things that I think I could do decently at all. So let's see, is it this one? Actually, let me clear that. Come on, don't loop there.
When you think that you're afraid of what's around the bend, remember I was waiting there and will be there again.
Okay, so so this is the not the first one. This is, I don't know which one. That's the second one. Yeah, second one. 18 takes. Is it this one? I thought I had more takes for this one.
Fire in the hour.
Yep, this is the first one. Okay, so we're gonna grab this one, pull it all the way up, all the way up. Man, I have like 30 takes for that one. What was I doing? Okay, and that one's also one that goes under there. So this is gonna be verse 1. Now, hello, yes. Hi, Train. What's up? Okay. So yeah, comping is actually, I really enjoy it because you'd be surprised when you have very consistent takes, and you actually start to do comping, you'll find out that you could actually like cut half a word and it doesn't sound like you cut it. So yeah, they're my vocals, so don't have high hopes, but we'll see how this works. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? I need to mute all these. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna close up all these stacks first, and we're gonna mute a whole bunch of stuff so I can just get them out of the way for now. Oh, this is gonna be fun, but it's also nerve-wracking. Mute. Okay, so now we have, this is back to our project. Okay, so now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these two that make up our lead, and we're gonna mute them because with the vocals, I just want to say this. I haven't tried it with the vocals, but when I was working initially, recording the vocals, I had them muted just so they weren't distracting me. So we're gonna turn these off for now, and then we're gonna try to match this up, and then we're gonna have fun with retiming. So, yeah, this is it. So all we have to do theoretically is see how terrible this ends up.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long.
Okay, so one of the first things we need to do, I'm gonna see if I can find an earlier take because they might have brighter EQ.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Wait.
Okay, so my microphone is not the best. That kind of kills some of it. So that's kind of what the deadening is. So what we're definitely gonna have to bring up the EQ. That's one thing, and we're gonna have to EQ the snot out of this basically. But okay, so what we're gonna do first, actually, I'm gonna slap on this compressor because this compressor I just kind of tossed it on before, and it helped a little bit with the dynamics.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long.
Okay, so we'll just actually hang with this take for now because it works good enough. And then we're gonna see if I could do like EQ, reverb, and maybe some distortion to get it to sound like it fits in the track. If it doesn't, then we'll kill the idea of working with vocals and we'll just chop stuff up and butcher everything, have fun, and treat it like an EDM track. But I really wanted to try this just because I was like, what the heck? I mean, it'd be fun to work with vocals, and it kind of shows you my vocal process in case I never end up being able to do a vocal series because I can't get a legitimate vocalist. So so this is what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with a EQ. We're gonna put it before the compressor just because it can change the way things can be compressed sometimes. Not too often, but sometimes. So I think, okay, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna grab a linear phase EQ, and I'm just gonna listen to this because obviously the high end needs to be boosted. We already kind of determined that because it sounds pretty dead. But if I boost it with this, it may not have the right tone. So we'll see how this works. So.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take.
So that actually worked pretty good. So we'll stick with this, using this EQ for now. And let me get that window out of the way. Okay. And now you can tell that the mids don't slot into the song at all. So we're gonna have to work with that. And additionally, we're probably gonna need some reverb on here pretty soon here, just because without reverb, it sounds completely out of place. So I think we'll drop the reverb on it first, and then see how much that helps. So you know what? We're actually gonna send this to a bus, and I'll show you why. I'm just gonna send it to bus 10, full amount, and we're gonna just change the amount that we actually want through here. And then we will add reverb space designer. We'll choose one in a second. I'm just gonna try to slap it to one that might do something. I want something that's like, let's do outdoor spaces. Try those. Not city street, but we'll mess with that later. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna double click EQ here just to bring up an EQ, and we're gonna use this to EQ the reverb. And we may, we probably won't put an EQ before the reverb. We'll just EQ the reverb how we feel it needs to be EQ'd. And my leg just fell asleep. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. Okay. So let's see how this sounds. We'll cycle through some reverb, see if we can find something that kind of makes it fit. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song, so you better listen carefully.
Okay, I like this one. I hate to say it, but I like this one. Oh gosh, my leg. Oh, I'm gonna have to stand up in a second here if my leg doesn't wake back up. Yes, you can EQ the reverb in Space Designer itself, but I don't like Space Designer's EQ for a few reasons. Primary reason being I can't do this and actually have it tonally decent. There is a filter here that I can use that would do the same thing, except I can never get it to sound right, but I could use a channel EQ and get it to sound right. But yes, there is a EQ inside Space Designer. You can use that, but I've never liked it. It has never been my friend. So, okay. My leg. Okay, so the thing is, this reverb as it is right now is like insanely like boxy sounding. But if we cut that,
so you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Fire in the hourglass, the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song, so you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long.
I gotta say, I am actually surprised that worked. Yeah, okay, so the vocals are actually sounding decent now. So, reverb does big things for vocals. Choosing the right reverb really, really, really makes a huge impact on your vocals.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song, so you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long.
Almost forgot to unmute myself. So, like, massive difference. It doesn't just add reverb. It actually changes the tone of my voice and makes me sound like a reasonable singer. So we're going to go through and do a whole bunch of stuff in here. We're going to do comping. We're going to do flex time. And we're going to... Do I seriously only have... Oh, that's take 4. I was like, do I seriously only have 4 takes in this entire thing? I was looking at it wrong. But, so yeah, we're going to go through, we're going to do flex time and comping. Should we do those now? Yeah, probably. We'll just do them now. But, oh no, actually I want to try to EQ this first. We're going to try to EQ the vocal here so we can get it to sit a bit better. And one of the things to keep in mind is, I haven't stressed this enough in some of my videos. When you want to EQ, the first thing you need to double check is whether or not you're actually needing to EQ, because sometimes it's actually just an issue of volume. And I'll show you right now how much it can make a difference here. So right now I just kind of have this slapped around a certain value. I don't even remember if I did this on screen when I pulled this down, or if that was back when I was recording it. But if you listen, I can move this around and it'll really change the placement of the vocals.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully,
So we actually probably don't need to EQ the sound out of this, because if you'll notice, if I turn it down, it sounds a lot nicer, and it kind of sounds clear. So what we'll probably do is we'll turn it down so it's clear, and then we'll add some things to give it harmonics to kind of warm it up and give it body, despite the fact that it's at a lower level, so it doesn't sound thin at that lower level. Let's see, what direction should we start this with?
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
Okay, so one of the things this microphone has is, hey, nice, more people. So Ride, I believe. So yeah, as soon as I'm done with the gym, I came rushing over my laptop for life. Nice.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
So what I was gonna say is, this microphone has, in the low end, it has a terrible resonance. And I don't remember where it is, and I don't think it actually shows it on the frequency charts anyway. So, Ray, okay, that's right, yeah, because I remembered you said something else that I should call you, and I completely forgot what it was. So, I'll try to remember that. I remember you did say that, though. Okay, so we need to try to find the resonance here that's being an issue.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen.
It's actually, I thought it was lower in the bass, but it's actually, I think it's this right here.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
So that's one of them. Now, there was actually one in the low end that I was kind of thinking was actually the case.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. Yes, we have vocals. We are having fun with vocals today. And yes, that is me singing. So, yeah, whatever. So we're gonna cut the lows now because we don't need lows most of the time. There may be a point where we actually bring in some lows, but I don't know. We'll see. It depends, because I got some miscellaneous takes with stuff in it, and I might have fun with that later. But usually you could just like cut off everything after 80 hertz. Sometimes you can pull it up higher. I mean, we could try. Just like listen here.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song.
So we'll kind of keep it at that, and that's like 74. So it's just slightly under 80 actually, but we don't need the rest of the stuff down there, so we'll just cut that. And now the vocal actually sounds thin.
Fire in the hourglass.
If you listen in the mix.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
And please ignore the crackling that is actually happening in the vocals. My audio setup isn't the best. I've told you guys what my setup is. And so there is going to be crackling, but we have 23 takes to go through. So don't worry about the fact there's crackling in that one spot, because I guarantee you there is at least one of these takes that is just as usable that doesn't have the crackling there. So don't worry about the crackling. That's just something that'll disappear eventually. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have fun with this because I want to. We're going to send this to bus 7. No particular reason. I should actually label this. This is bus 5, which was our reverb. So vocal. Good question, Ray. So why use a linear EQ instead of a normal EQ? It's actually a good chance to just show it. So whoops, wrong thing there. So we're gonna pull this down. Go down there. Now, channel EQ. I am going to boost the highs. Copy that so it's exactly the same. Get a linear phase and do the exact same thing. We're gonna A/B this, If you take a listen, you'll hear a pretty big difference actually.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully.
If you listen to the channel EQ, what it sounds like it's doing is it actually sounds like it's doing this. That's what it sounds like it's doing. The linear phase EQ, on the other hand, actually sounds like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's actually boosting this very high end up here. Now, I'll mute myself just so we could get rid of any of the background noise here, and we'll do it one more time just to show you the difference, because it's actually a pretty big difference here, and that's why I use linear phase EQ for boosting the high end in this way. So let me mute myself.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to cycle this area right here, because when it's take my hand, if you listen, there's an air that's kind of left. And if you try to pay attention to that air in the track with the linear phase EQ, you'll notice it disappears with the channel EQ, and it just kind of becomes like this filtered sort of sound.
Choose to take my hand, cause choose to take my hand, cause
so like right after hand, there's kind of like this airiness to it.
Choose to take my hand, cause
and that's actually the sound of me breathing in, and it gets very clear, and it sounds very thin and like crisp. Not crisp. Crisp is not a good word, because crisp is kind of harsh, but it sounds very bright and smooth when I breathe in right after there.
Choose to take my hand, cause
and then what I do is with the channel EQ is you'll notice it loses that.
Choose to take my hand, cause
it sounds like it's been filtered off. It sounds like we're just focusing on this area instead of this extra air. So so that's the reason I used the linear phase EQ. Very good difference to know with the EQ. So why, I could actually explain why, because it's not that hard of a concept. So what happens is this one, it tries to retain the original sound when EQing. This one, on the other hand, tries to do like an analog sort of EQ, where it takes, if you were to actually run these through electronics and do an EQ boost, that's more what it would sound like on electronics. And what that means is that these ones tend to get more distortion, and you tend to get more quality loss. Now, in a lot of cases, that's not that bad. But in the case where you want airiness in the high end, it's a bad thing. So so that's why I sometimes, when I'm working with high end and bass, I use the linear phase EQ, because it's more precise per se. Now that doesn't mean always use linear phase EQ, because tonally, a lot of these analog modeling sounds are much better to use. So like if you're trying to make a synth sound warm and full, you cannot do that with a linear phase EQ. It just doesn't work. It just starts to sound like all like you EQ'd it. And in the mids, not mids, but like right around here, 1K to 2K, if you start EQing this with linear phase EQ, you can almost hear the bump in your EQ. Whereas this one, it affects this area and kind of like adds harmonics to affect the other areas slightly around it as well, trying to kind of, smooth it out better. Hey Matt, nice to see you on the stream. Okay, so that's the explanation between linear phase EQ and regular EQ. So that's why I did that. And now, on to what I was gonna do. So Buzz 10, I just renamed to Vocal Reverb, and this one is going to be Vocal Harm. It's not gonna be harmony, it's gonna be harmonics. So what we're gonna do is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna add straight up distortion on this, or if I'm going to add or if I'm gonna add the harmonic EQ that I have. Let's like, what's it? I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's been a while since I've been in Logic. It's the overtone GEQ. That's what it was. So, so we're gonna run this full, and what we'll do first of all is we're gonna EQ this. So channel EQ is the one we want. because we're gonna do this. So I'm just gonna solo this.
Choose to take my hand, cause 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 choose to take my hand.
So it sounds, this is like the worst type of vocal that you could have.
Choose to take my hand.
If someone was actually singing like that, that'd be terrible. But what we could do is we could distort this or use the overtone GEQ to use this to kind of like mess up the sound a little bit, and then when we layer it over the original sound, it fills it out. So do you use templates when starting a track? For some reason I think I have already asked this, but okay, so I don't use templates. I could use templates because there are a few things that I do to speed up my production process, like whenever I make a kick drum I always route to bus 20. But quite frankly, if I had a template, I would probably never like it wouldn't be enough to really save me time, because like all I would do is that kick drum, because that's the only thing I'm 100% sure about in every single track that I'm gonna have, that kick drum being routed to bus 20 for my side chaining. That's the only thing I do in every single track. Otherwise, you know, it's just a matter of I kind of want to work off my inspiration rather than actually like building a track in the sort of sense where it's like, okay, so I'm gonna open up Logic and work on a track today, and I'm gonna make a track, and it's like I want to do less of that and more like, oh, I have an idea for a melody or something, and then hop in, drop the melody, and be like, oh, and if I add this sort of thing with it, then it'll, you know, have this tone. And if I add this sort of thing, then I'll have that tone. So some people suggest like, oh, I do templates and I have like a default kick or a default clap that I use in every single track when I'm starting it out, just so I have a clap there if I need a clap, so I know kind of what it'll sound like. Except for me, the problem is if I were to do that rather, I would leave it there. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't fix it. I wouldn't replace it. I wouldn't get variety. So it would really end up stinking. And it just like every single one of my tracks would have that same clap or that same kick, because I'd be too highly concentrated on the various sounds. Reverb, delay, and EQ would be faster, but I do like to tailor them to my specific sounds. So in a lot of cases, actually, when I'm using SynthMaster, it has reverb on a lot of stuff and delay on a lot of stuff. So I don't worry about layering too much more on top of that. But otherwise, my other delays and reverbs, I kind of just use the default one, because when you first open Logic, it drops in an electric piano when you create a virtual instrument track, and that has a reverb bus on it. So I'll kind of use that and then change it when I need something to better fit the tone of my track. So, which I think I did at the beginning of the series, actually, because this is when I was like, okay, we need to find a nice reverb first that kind of fits the track. I don't remember if I did that for sure though. But I mean, I could check, but I don't remember the name of the default one anyway. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna distort this. So, yeah. So, okay, so I need. We'll try just use overdrive for now, and then we'll see what we could do. If overdrive doesn't sound like it's giving us the right tone, then we'll try working with overtone GEQ. I think the overtone GEQ is going to be a little bit too subtle for it to work as like something as a side. But we might actually have to do one other thing, which is add a compressor right here that just squashes the snot out of the vocals. Would you say that the plugins that Logic Pro X offers are sufficient enough to create unique sounds? Would you recommend I employ third-party plugins to create more unique sounds and effects? Yes, and kind of. So I do believe that Logic Pro now offers pretty much everything you need to make a professional sounding track. And I don't mean like if you work for years and years, you could make a professional sounding track with the default stuff. No, it has plenty of stuff, except for the samples. You have to actually go get samples. But like I have, there's a video on my channel that I have, like, it's just links to tons of free samples. Use those. Those are great. And that'll be more than enough. So, but in terms of third-party plugins, I strongly suggest that you look into getting a better synthesizer, because one of the things is about it's kind of been remedied a little bit with what's that, Alchemy that they added. So Alchemy has much better tone than ES2, but at the same time, Alchemy is kind of weird because in some ways it's less of a synthesizer and it's more of a sampler. So yeah, you should. That is very true, Train. You should know your DAW plugins very well before you think about going into like getting other stuff. Because if you think, oh, I'm not sounding good because I need a new synth, then chances are that's not the case. Usually you want to get a new synth because it has better tone. But if you can't even distinguish tone, then it doesn't really matter. So by way of power, ES2 and Alchemy have more than enough power to make really awesome stuff. And my stream health just turned to good, so don't know why that happened. But yeah, so with Alchemy and ES2, that's more than enough. And so really it just breaks down to when you start noticing that the tone isn't good enough. And that's one of the things that I found with ES2. I could design some pretty good synthesizers, but like the tone was just off. It didn't sound as good as some of the other things that I've listened to. And then when I switched over to SynthMaster, that one just has so much better tone. So yes, there is a time to use third-party plugins, but you'll really know when it's time, because you'll be like, okay, I need to do this, but I can't physically do it with what I have. Or I need this sort of tone and I can't physically do it. So, yeah. Oh, you don't have, oh man, you're switching to FL to Logic because you don't have access to a Windows PC anymore. That's usually the opposite of what I hear these days. Usually people switch to FL because they lose their Mac. But, okay. So, yeah, you could use Boot Camp. That is true. I can't, but that's just because I'm a weirdo. Okay, so this is what it sounds like. I think we have a bus solo, yeah, when we just distort it. So I'm just gonna, yeah, we're just gonna distort it here. So
choose to take my hand, choose to take my hand.
So is that clipping out of the master bus?
Choose to take my hand.
Yeah, it's clipping out of the master bus. So what we're probably gonna need to do is we're probably gonna need to compress this. You know what? I might just limit it. That might be a better idea. We'll just do a rough compressor. So Dynamics compressor. And what we're going to do here is
choose to take my hand.
We're just going to turn up the ratio quite a bit.
Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my hand.
So it really flattens it. And that's because we don't really need dynamics in this part. Because what we're going to do here with this overdrive is we're not going to keep it at this subtle level. We're going to turn down the output by a lot so we don't blow our eardrums out. Then we're going to turn up the drive by a lot.
Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my hand.
That's not enough. Okay, so we need to actually get the distortion unit. So anybody who's wondering, the difference between overdrive and distortion, despite the fact that they look almost exactly the same, is overdrive is kind of like a more fine-tuned, subtle version of distortion, and distortion is just rougher. So if you can't do enough distortion on overdrive, switch to distortion. So that's what we're going to do.
Choose to take my hand. 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 Choose to take my hand.
You know what?
Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my hand.
Yeah, we're actually going to switch back to overdrive because overdrive, it did more to the tone and less to the actual, because I don't want those sharp parts in. I could try to EQ them out, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my hand. Choose to take my.
Sweet. So now what this will sound like is, apologize for looping that small area. Now what it'll sound like in the context of the vocals, we'll try to mix this in a little better.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my.
So you notice right now it's got this terrible nasal sound.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
Now that's because we have to EQ it. So what we did was, one of the things we did here was we made the EQ like this. So keeping that in mind, we're gonna have to find what part was probably most affected, and then we'll actually cut that again. So
fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
So we're gonna cut that.
Take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color.
So that was like the
and
resonant
the
spot.
Sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
There we go, right there.
Waiting for the moment.
And then the other part we need to cut is the lower part, because we have
fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. waiting for the moment you...
That does not sound good either. But we want the part we're actually trying to retain is this right here.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the...
That's what I'm trying to retain. That's actually what I was looking for in the beginning. That's what I need.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's...
Now, I'm going to mute myself. And I'm going to mute the distortion thing we just did and show you the difference that it made in the vocals.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Fire.
Now we'll do it with just the vocals so you kind of get an ear for it here.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long.
So you see what it does there? It kind of fills it out. So we don't want it this high. I just pulled it up so you kind of get it. If you weren't hearing it, you could kind of hear it. Really happy that... Yes, yeah. Just really happy that live stream is back, comments and all. Yay. Way to go 2016. Yeah. Yeah, live stream is that I got to say my live stream is my favorite part about this channel right now. It is so awesome to like do a video and have you guys here like asking questions or just watching like at the same time. It is the coolest thing ever. So, oh wow, crap. I've been going for like 45 minutes already. I want to go longer. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if I could find one more trouble spot in here, and
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the...
You know what? Scratch that. We're just gonna filter out.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and...
Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to widen up these 2 points a bit.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color.
And then we'll turn this down.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully.
So it really fills it out in terms of body. This is like my favorite trick that I learned, and I don't remember where the heck I learned it or if I came up with it. Like I'm just like, let's try this. I don't remember, but this is the most beautiful thing ever. And I was actually talking to someone. They're like, hey, I'm in school for production, and like I can never get the vocals to sound like really solid. Like they either sound too thin or too full, and it's hard to get that balance. And one of my favorite things, I do it too much now, is to do this, where you EQ it so it sounds like that nice bright sort of vocal, but it ends up kind of being thin, and then you add this distortion to add harmonics across the mids so that it warms it up without actually having to try to EQ it to sound like it has more mids. And really, for those of you that don't quite get harmonics yet, it's an idea of, it's like instead of boosting something, you complement it. So instead of just like, I like high notes in my track, instead of just adding more of that same high note, you add a different high note, and then it gets even better because you have this complement to it that aids the original sound. So that's what harmonics do that you want to keep an eye out for. So we have this.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song.
Okay, so right now, as it is, the original vocal has a bit too much lows still. And what I mean by lows is kind of this area right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to widen this out and scooch it over to the right just a little bit. And if that doesn't work, we'll probably get this shelf and just try to cut out some of it.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
Now, one of the things we could do in addition is we could actually do a really funky routing here. And I think I might do that because it'd be really fun. So we have this tone for the vocals that we like. I'm going to, wait. Did I have that muted?
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So
trying to decide if I like that EQ. Now, one of the things you could do is you could always turn off the EQ.
fire in the hourglass.
And then you're like, yeah, I want that EQ. That's a bad example, but yeah.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
Okay, so one of the things is I'm gonna have to reshape this now because this is like one of the things I do when I get a track from or not a track, but like when I get vocals for a remix competition, one of the things I do is I actually re-EQ it to the track after everything's all said and done, because right now I can tell this is hi-fi. You got like the high end that's all nice and crisp, you got the low end that's a little bit more up, and then you have the middle which is kind of dipped down. So that's kind of what it's at right now. What I can tell you right now what I'm going to need to do in the long run is I need to EQ. What I'm going to need to do in the long run is I'm going to need to do this.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen.
I'm going to need to do that in the long run, but I want to do that right now, because if I do that right now, then I'll just turn that off so I kind of remember that. If I do that right now, then the rest of my track will kind of lag behind, because the rest of my track is kind of following this hi-fi sort of sound that I take care of typically in the final mixdown or mastering.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away.
Where something like this would end up getting EQ'd to be like this.
And waiting for the moment.
So it gets a lot more present. So that's the reason I don't want to do this now, because otherwise if I do that, I'm like committing to do the rest. So trying to decide, because I think what I might want to do is I might want to. Okay, actually, one of the things I need to check here is as well.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know
I'm gonna try listening to this, see what this sounds like.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
There we go. That's exactly what I needed. So I kind of needed like the harsher highs.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
You notice some phrases, it kind of sounds like it's getting. It kind of sounds like it's kind of sounds like the EQ is modulating almost, and that's partially because we compressed the vocal a lot when we went into here, so it kind of stays consistent, whereas the original vocal is very dynamic. And that shows up a lot in the high end. Doesn't show up as much around this area that I was trying to get for distortion. So I just had to filter that off there. And gets rid of the excess high end that we kind of added with the distortion. I really just wanted the distortion across, mixed around this area. Not really in the bass and not really leaking into the highs either. So that's why I'm cutting that there.
Fire in the hourglass. hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
Okay, extremely off topic, but did you attend music production classes, or did you learn what you know through tutorials such as ones you make for us? Yes, I basically just learned it through tutorials. I did not attend any production classes, but this semester I actually got lucky enough that for some strange reason they're having an electronic music production class this year at UC Merced, and I was like, hey, what the heck? I need arts credit, so let me go do that. And we'll find out how that turns out, but I highly imagine it's going to be very introductory in terms of the class content, but I'm sure the guy there will know quite a bit of stuff, and I could just talk to that. They don't sound super in key. Good catch. We haven't auto-tuned them, and I'm serious. So we are gonna actually take care of that later. We're gonna fix the pitching, and it actually improves it quite a bit when you start to do pitch adjustments. But we'll take a look at that later. That's gonna be after the comping. Let's see, how much time has this been running? This has almost been running an hour. I think I'll probably run it for what, hour and a half? Is that what I usually do? I think, yeah, hour and a half, because I only did an hour last time. So, yeah, that's actually kind of what I think might happen. I might end up teaching a lot of the students there. He might just be like, hey, you help me. I can't manage everybody. You help with the other people over there. So, I don't know. We'll see. Because the school I go to is a technical school. It's not an art school. There are very few arts classes. So, I was shocked when this one popped up. And most of the people going to the school wouldn't even imagine of actually getting, like, a major in music production. So I say most because I don't know if there's people like me there that, you know, are doing computer science as their main degree and would like to do music as a side, as like a minor or something. But yeah, so we'll see how that turns out, but it'll be fun, I'm sure. And I might be able to get him to give me some extra tips. So I think since we have like a half hour left, we could go in and start doing comping. Now I was like I said, I was thinking about routing these to buses, to kind of like, what I was going to do is split it into a second bus and then bring it back into the full bus so I could EQ the whole thing with this. So when if I slapped an EQ on the final bus, it'd EQ both of these at the same time. But I think I'm just going to pass on that because I don't think I really need to. Oh, Lander blog. Every free plugin you need for mixing perfect vocals. Oh, cool. That's neat. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. For those of you that can't see the comments because you're watching the recording, he said check out the LANDR blog. So check that out. And apparently there's a bunch of free plugins there. Okay, so now is for the fun part. We have 23 takes in this section, and we're going to go through and listen and kind of pick and choose sections that we really like the tone of. Now, some sections are going to be very much the same because I knew that I was going to have like this crackling issue, like right here. Right there. That poppity pop that you hear. Let's do that again.
Waiting for the moment.
The couple of clicks that you hear there. I was figuring that would happen, so I did some takes that were very similar, and I also did some takes that had pitch differences. I also did some takes where I burped. Kind of and kind of not, but there's like this one right here. I messed up the lyrics halfway through, so you can see it looks different from all the other ones. But we're going to go through and we're going to find, start comping everything. Oh, you have to get going? Well, thank you for coming to the stream. It really, really means a lot when people show up to the stream. It's the coolest thing ever when y'all are here just chatting with me. I really enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. Yeah, okay. So we'll start at the top, I say, even though it's the bottom. This is take one, first take. And I'm going to actually start it here. Where's the rest of my... Oh, I soloed it, duh. Okay, so we're going to listen to this and kind of figure out which ones we like the best, or which ones are absolutely disgusting. And then we'll go through, we'll comp them all together. And then, by the way, thank you for pointing out that that's called comping, because I didn't know before. So we'll comp them all together, and then we'll do some flex time and flex pitch. That's basically Logic's version of auto-tune that it has built into it. It works pretty darn well, and I used it to do some wacky stuff. So we'll have fun with that and try to just fix it and make everything so it's like dead on in some spots and kind of like not dead on where it needs to not be dead on. So you'll see more about that later when we get to that. But for now, let's listen to all the takes.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
So I don't think I like the end of that one.
Oh, it won't be long.
So, okay, so yeah, we'll just listen to the second one here and just keep going.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
And
the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
I actually like a lot of aspects of this take, but we're going to keep going through and I'm sure we're going to find a lot of parts, because one of the things when I sing is if I do like 100 takes, then there are some times that I just happen to nail the pitch, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to find those hidden gems inside each of these. Actually, it's less than 23 because I did some improv at the end. Each of these takes, and then we'll sort them together, comp them together, and find the best parts. But right now, I am liking some parts of take 4. Now, I could be pointing out things to look out for. I guess I'll do that right now. Just one of the things that is really an issue for one of the particular phrases in here that is going to be something we're going to have to look for is this right here. Come on. Play where I want you to play.
Waiting, birds away the sand.
Right here.
Waiting for the moment.
So the waiting, sometimes I do it faster, sometimes I actually drag it out. And we need to decide, first of all, which one we want, and second of all, which ones of those ended up having a good sort of style. Because the thing is, I changed it every single time. So there are some that are drug out, like I said, some that are shorter, and of those two categories, there are some that are terrible and some that are good. Just because the timing might not be perfect, or I might have cut in a bit too fast, or didn't ease in enough, whatever. So that's one of the things that we're going to look for, and let's see if we can find just some examples.
Waiting for the...
That one's longer.
Waiting for the moment.
That one's longer, but it's a lot softer than the other ones. So it was kind of more airy.
Waiting for the moment.
And then this one.
And waiting for the...
That's a longer one.
And waiting for the moment.
That was almost shorter. I don't remember when I started doing shorter ones, but we'll find one.
And waiting for the moment.
That one's notably shorter.
Waiting and waiting for the moment.
That one's a short one. That's what I was looking for. So there's no at the beginning. It's just waiting without the waiting that's at the beginning. So I think I like this one better. So we're gonna keep this.
And waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause
so I really like this right here.
choose to take my hand.
That's really, really good. I don't know if there's a better one in here. We'll find out. But I really like that one for now. So we should do that. No, I'm not going to take notes. So we're going to listen to a few of these till we get up to take 8, and then I'll show you how we're going to actually start comping things together. And it's beautiful how Logic does it because it's so insanely easy. So listen to these and...
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment I choose to take.
I messed up the lyrics there, so that's why this one looks different.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
Okay, so we're back to take 8, and I said this is where I would show you what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna select a different take, and then what I'm gonna do is click and drag this area. Now, this is the beauty of what Logic does. Now, it will play this area from this take, that area from that take, and this area from this take. It is absolutely wonderful that it does this, because then we could get anything like this.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
So it is quieter, and we may have to adjust gain or use more compression. We'll find out later. But for now, we want to just find the good spots that have a very good sound to them. So now one of the things is by selecting this one, I can't hear more unless I select areas like this. So I'm kind of committing to this section right now. And I'll show you more about resizing and what you can do with these in a second. We'll just kind of go through some of the other options here. And I'm going to actually close it back since I showed you that now. And we're going to listen to the full takes and see, because I remember this spot from take 8, and we'll just kind of go through and figure out which ones we like the best.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
I like how the pitch turned out in this one. So I like this section here.
So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
The vibrato at the end worked pretty good, so I'll keep that one in mind as well.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
You could tell that one I changed up the pitch because I was trying to do something different and it didn't work.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause it won't be very long.
Kind of messed up the lyrics there. And now these two, I added something at the end and it completely failed. So we're just going to ignore that.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I won't be very long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, whoa.
And my pitch sucks, so that didn't work.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, wow. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest.
You'll notice I changed the pitch there. Instead of going up, I stayed, and it actually sounded pretty good.
Choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, oh, oh. The fire in the
My improv
hourglass,
sucks.
it burns away the sand, waiting for the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, oh, oh. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, oh, oh.
That one was actually okay.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, oh.
Okay, so now we're gonna start going back because the rest up here is just improv. So I like this section here. So we're gonna grab this section, and then there was the one from 8, which was right here, I believe. And then there were a few others that we're gonna have to look for. So
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
okay, I like what I did with the pitch there, but I don't like how well it was done. So we're gonna see if we can find that except for a better take of it.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
I don't think I did another take of that.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
I don't think I did.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
So where was that one?
The fire in the sand burns away the sand.
Okay, so this is where comping actually starts to get entertaining because I found out the issue here.
Burns away the sand.
So the problem is sand is not timed right. So I could do that in flex time, or I could look for a better comp. Right now, I'm gonna check for a better comp. See if we can find something we can just swap out. And I don't know how well this will work.
The sand.
So we'll probably want to cut the full thing there. So once you have sections here, you could actually move them along with this. That's kind of obvious, but just wanted to mention that in case someone missed it. But
Burns away the sand.
so you see, it doesn't really sound like it was cut that much. I mean, not that good, but
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
so that one sounds a lot more cut.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to
Okay, so I might need to flex time it because the thing is, these other times I'm saying sand, it's a lot deeper. So it's like sand instead of sand. So I might need to actually find something different.
the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
Yeah, because see, there's so much lower pitched. If I could,
Away the sand.
yeah.
Waiting
I don't think it
away
was
the
gonna.
sand. Waiting,
Actually, that one's okay.
it burns away the sand.
Kind of. It's a little rough.
Burns away the sand. Wait,
Because it sounds almost right. Except I can't tell if that's because my ear is going weird or
burns
not.
away the sand. Wait,
Because it doesn't sound that much. It doesn't sound so deep. It just kind of sounds deep-ish. So.
away the sand. Waiting for the moment. Away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
Sounds terrible.
You away the sand. Waiting for away the sand. Wait
Starts to get comic.
away the sand.
That one's not good.
Away the sand.
Where was it?
Away the sand.
Nope. Oh, it was way up here. That's right.
Away the sand.
That one's okay, we said.
Away the sand.
That one's okay, I think.
Away the sand.
That one's terrible. Okay, so.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for
Okay, so part of the problem is the dynamics are incorrect, but we could fix that with compression later, I think. So we might keep that. Otherwise, we'll keep in mind that we have the higher pitched one here.
the fire the sand.
I don't like that pitch though. Dang it, which one was it on?
The sand.
So we'll probably just hang it there for now.
Away the sand.
One of these. I'm not sure which one, but we'll try to remember that.
Away the sand.
Let me try to move this over here, see if we get a better cut.
Away the sand.
That one's too sharp.
Burns away the sand.
That one's too sharp.
Burns away the sand. Burns away the sand.
Yeah, we'll probably just have to stick with
Burns
this one.
away the sand.
Because it does sound like a note jump, but we may, if we're gonna stick with this higher note here, which I kind of like, then we're gonna have to deal with that. So
Take my hand, 'cause love
okay, what do we have
the
for now?
fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand, 'cause love's the warmest.
I really like that
Choose to
my,
take my hand,
because it's like it bounces a lot. So
'cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long.
so now there was another one for this section
Joy's the sweetest song. So
that I found a good one for. I don't remember where it was. So we're gonna zoom in here and try to figure out. So we'll just grab a section here until we're pushing it up against there and then shimmy it back. There we go.
joy's the sweetest song. So you
So this is,
love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song.
there we go. That one was the one that I liked the vibrato for.
Song. So you better listen carefully. So you better listen. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. so you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh, love's the warmest color, cause I know.
So one of the things you got to keep an eye out when you're doing this is right here. Listen.
Cause I know it won't.
It sounds like there's almost an F in there, because the clip happens to be on half of it is when I'm taking a breath, the other half is not when I'm taking a breath.
Cause I know.
There's like there's like just like a in there.
Cause I know.
You hear that? So that's what we need to shimmy things around, try to get rid of it. One of the easiest ways to do that is to zoom in a whole ton and go to the waveform and see if you could figure out what the issue is. So right here, you can see this cuts here, but it doesn't actually cut there. So we may have an issue with these two takes just not lining up nicely, but we'll see.
Carefully, cause I know it won't.
Yeah, we might have to,
Carefully, cause I know it won't.
Yeah, what we're probably gonna have to do is we're actually gonna have to, hush my mouth. We could just get a take from something else. So we pretty much need this space to be dead space right here. So let's see if I could figure this out. So up till right there, it needs to be dead space. And that one is kind of variant. So now we need, oh, that's actually perfect.
Cause I know it won't be.
Let's try this again.
Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Now there's like a now. So what I'm probably just gonna do is I'm probably just gonna actually have to trim it, fade it out, and fade it back in, because that'll work dandy. There will be no issues if I do it that way, because right now we're ending up with too much, not too little. And I don't think I said hi to hello. That kind of sounds funny, but let's see. Can we do it?
Cause I know it won't. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't.
Yeah, no, that one. For the life of me, I can't find it. I need something with like completely empty. But I don't know. That's pretty much empty, but for some reason it doesn't sound empty. Why does it not sound empty? Wait, is there like another clip somewhere that I'm messing up? Wait, oh, there is. Wait for it. Okay, so somewhere around here, there's this section, which I don't want to be an independent section. Or is there? I'm confused. There we go.
Cause I know it won't. Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully.
Well, it's fixed now.
Cause I know it won't.
Don't know what happened there.
Love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be. Yeah,
there's still a very slight amount, but I'm not too worried because that's an easy fix. We'll check to see if we can zoom in and do some slightly smoother trims here, because that one's basically on dead space. That one's basically on dead space. That one's. They're all basically on dead space, which is the confusing part. Try that. I don't know.
Cause I know it won't.
Might have fixed it.
And joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Yeah, we'll just fix it later. We'll actually slice it and then fade out and fade in. It'll work so much better. Okay, so now this section is good, I think.
So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
I kind of like that, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. We'll find out. And where was the other take over here? So that's a keeper. This one's a keeper.
And joy's the sweetest song.
Now, one of the things is we're going to have to find an intro here to this particular section, aka one for this part right here that fits it.
Love's the warmest color.
So we're going to have to actually cycle this a bit longer. Yeah, we'll do this.
Cause love's the warmest color and cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest. Cause love's the warmest color. Cause love's the warmest color and cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. Cause love's the warmest color. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest. Cause love's the warmest color 'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest. 'Cause love's the warmest color. 'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. 'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you.
We might actually do that.
'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy. 'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy. 'Cause love's the warmest color, and
I like how the note sustains it.
love's the warmest color.
So what we'll do is we'll take, we'll just extend this one longer.
'Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh, 'cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Okay, so that's pretty good for that section. We'll go back to the first section because I don't remember how much of the first section we did, and if we actually cut it short. But I don't think we checked the beginning half to find a good beginning half. So we'll find that here.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause the fire.
Welcome to the live stream. Actually, unfortunately, my plan was to actually kill this in around 10 minutes, but I might hang around longer because I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. I don't have anything else to do today, so.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting. The fire in the hourglass, it burns.
I'm not going to because it'll be pretty hard. Is it Gail Martinez Gomez? I think so.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause the fire.
So the way that I kind of have those two notes, I chose the higher one. It kind of Guile. Oh, okay. Apologies. Yeah, it's really late for a lot of people. I'm gonna try to make the stream earlier this semester because I might need to shimmy it around to fit my new school schedule. We'll see. But you guys will probably know. You'll definitely know in 2 weeks, maybe next week. Yeah.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment.
Okay, I don't like this waiting. We're gonna find a different waiting.
You choose to take my hand.
I don't actually know if I like this section at all. Just moving around. See.
Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause
I really like
waiting for the moment you.
right there. This is what I meant by some spots I just nail it.
The moment you. Waiting for the moment you.
That right there, that pitch. I don't know if that was a vibrato technically, but that turned out pretty good. It sounds it by itself it doesn't sound that great, but in the context of the track it sounds pretty good.
Hourglass, it burns away the sand, waiting for the moment you choose.
Okay, so we need this U I kind of hesitated on, so we're gonna need to move that.
You choose to take my hand.
So what we're gonna do is
You
grab this region. Make sure it's not inhibiting anything.
moment you choose to take my hand.
And we'll move this one around. Just got here a second ago, I came back from middle school. Don't know what you did, but it sounded good. So right now I'm working on vocals. I recorded vocals. This is me singing, for better or for worse. And right now we're comping them. So I basically have 23 takes that I did. Actually, it's less than 23. I said that before. It's 21 takes basically. And we're going through and we're finding sections that sound good and we're mashing them all together into one perfect take. Perfect, I say, because it's not actually perfect because I'm a terrible singer. But we're gonna try this.
Moment you choose to take my hand. Moment you choose to take my hand.
So I need to shimmy this over somewhat.
You choose.
Because there's that ch sound that kind of comes out. And it's sliced in pretty much all of the audio files at that spot. So I need to figure out how to fix that. So it might be safer to just move this back here.
And you choose. Waiting for the moment you choose to take.
No, we're gonna have to move it forward because it cuts the T, I think. If there's a T.
Meant you choose. Meant you choose.
That might be where we need to cut it. Bad take, but we'll find out.
Meant you choose to take.
Cut that shallower.
Meant you choose to take.
Okay, so what we're doing with the vocals here, there's actually no keyboard shortcut. I explained it earlier, but what happens is if you loop a section and you record something, it'll each time it goes through, it'll keep recording. And each time it goes through the loop, it'll create a new take. And once you do that, all you have to do is usually you'll have this one big section across. And all you have to do is click and drag a section on a different take, and it'll just get that section and insert it in. So it's really, really easy, and it's awesome.
Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment.
I hesitated on the waiting.
Waiting for the moment. Waiting for the moment you. Waiting for the moment you.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I don't like this waiting. I like this waiting though. So we're gonna grab this, and you'll notice now we're getting to like really fine tuning everything. So what we're gonna do is grab that whole section there, and
burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
And this one we probably need to shift over.
Moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
So now we need to go back to the beginning, because the beginning, first of all,
the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
So I like this section, but I think we're gonna have to cut it. See ya. Too bad you can't stay for the whole thing. Actually, this is pretty much the whole thing. This is usually where we cut it, but I kind of want to finish. We're gonna finish the comping for the section first, and then I'll cut the stream. So that's the plan for today. And
the fire in the hour, the fire in the hourglass, it, the fire in the fire in.
There we go. Okay, so I kind of like this one.
The fire in the hourglass.
And then we're gonna do is we're gonna trim this section here, and we're gonna move this one around.
The fire in the hourglass, it. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away this.
Kind of like this section, so that's 15.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away. Fire in the hourglass, it burns away.
So this one was the one that we said probably isn't gonna
Fire
work.
in the hourglass, it burns away the sand.
So let's try this here.
It burns away the sand.
So yeah, that's why I really didn't want that one.
Burns away the sand. Wait.
So let's see if I could shimmy this around.
The sand. The sand. The sand. The sand.
So that might work better here. Sound less choppy.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color, and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Okay, so
The fire in the the fire
sounds kind of stuttery, so we're gonna take the and choose a different one.
the fire in The fire in the hour.
There we go. That's probably the one we need.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Okay, so I think the second half is totally good. We just need to work out a few kinks in the first half, and the few kinks being primarily the issue where I kind of like this higher pitch thing, but I don't think it's gonna stay.
Burns away the sand.
So we're gonna have, because we don't have a sand that'll work, so we have to keep that in mind and instead move around what we choose for this area.
The hourglass, it burns away the.
So try a different section here. Unfortunately.
It burns away the sand. It burns away the sand. It burns away the sand. It burns away the sand.
Maybe?
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, 'cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Okay, so now I want to try a few things just before we take off here, because I think that the comp is sounding pretty good now.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. 'Cause love's the warmest color.
One
Choose to
sec.
take.
I think there's a hesitation here, so we're going to try to get rid of that. Whoops. Where the heck was cycled? So...
It burns away the fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose.
That, yeah,
Moment you choose.
So we're going to have to fix that there. Okay, so what's the issue? It sounds like the T is too long.
Meant you. Meant you. Meant you.
Yeah.
Meant you. You take my.
Okay, so what we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to get a T, which is one of the more tedious things. Tedious things. So we're going to have to... So you notice this T is a lot shorter here, so... Try that.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take.
Okay, so the U kind of fades in weirdly, but other than that, it's actually okay.
You choose to. You choose. You choose.
Ugh.
You choose.
Because the problem is... Oh, well.
You choose.
There we go.
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. You choose.
Okay, so we need to fix the T a little bit.
You.
Because I think something's still off. So...
Waiting for the moment you choose. Moment you choose. Moment you. Moment you choose. Waiting for the moment you choose. For the moment you choose. For the moment you choose. For the moment you choose.
That one's...
Waiting for the moment you choose to take my.
Because there's like this pause. It's kind of weird, and it shouldn't be that way.
Moment you choose to take. Moment you choose to take my. Waiting for the moment you choose to take.
Yeah, I think it's caused because of that.
Moment you choose to take my hand.
Whoa!
Fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest fire in.
Whoa, that was surprising. Sorry. Okay, so
Fire in. The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
So what we'll probably do is we'll probably have to trim there as well and just fade in and fade out. Yeah, because I think what it's doing is, because we're doing this whole cut sort of thing, if you actually look at the top here, this is what it's doing. It's crossfading between all of these. And if I do a longer crossfade, then some of these sections will sound better. But for the most part, I think the only issues we have is this area and the one spot over here that's got like that double sort of... It just needs to be a gap.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
So yeah, that
'Cause
one.
love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen
And here.
carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh, fire in the...
So those are the two ones that we're gonna need to work with when we actually start to trim it. I don't know, how painful is it to trim it here? Because if we're lucky, it'll actually be easy.
Waiting for the moment.
I'm gonna save first.
For the moment you choose. Moment you. Fire in.
Well, turn off cycle for a second here. Turn it off.
Moment you choose.
Okay, so we're gonna split it here. Split by playhead. And I don't know how well it works with this when it has the stacks and everything, and then we try to do things like this. So we'll see how this works. It may work fine. And okay, so it doesn't look like I can fade. Bleh. Delay, mute. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see if I could, I'm gonna switch tools here. Do the fade tool, and I'm just gonna, whoops, wrong button. Where's my other tool? It won't let me fade these. It's interesting. Okay, so I can't fade these. Learn something new every day. Yeah, I have seen your last comment. Sorry. Yes, I could totally, yeah, give you my opinion on something after this. So, sure, as soon as we finish this train. Totally cool with that. Okay, so I can't fade this, which is a little bit of a problem. Now, the alternative is I do volume automation, but, oh no, wait, what am I thinking? Stupid me. I could do automation with a gain plugin. Utility, gain, stereo, boom. And then we're just gonna automate this right here. So A, automation, volume, gain, gain. So, and actually we probably should undo the, oh crap. Don't freeze on me. Don't freeze on me now. A. So we're gonna do, I can't merge them now. I can't merge them. There we go. Join. Thank you. Okay, so now we're utility, gain. Try this again. And try to make this quick so we can wrap this up here. Gain, gain. And figure out what we need to mute.
Moment you.
And then what we're going to do is pull this down right here.
Moment you choose.
Actually, we don't have to pull it down all the way. We could just do a little bit of a dip, and it might work better.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
So that's kind of what we need. So you notice
Moment you choose.
it gets rid of a lot of that ch sound.
Moment you choose.
But what we need to do is we need to get it so I don't want to pull it down all the way, but we might need to do that.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
Because you kind of get like that stutter sort of sound.
Moment you.
So what we probably need to do is pull this over. I'm holding Alt right now to duplicate a point.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose. You choose. You.
So I probably need to fade that out a bit longer.
moment you choose.
There we go. And then I could get rid of that.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
There we go.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
So how do I do?
For the moment you choose to take.
That's closer.
For the moment you choose.
So maybe I just need to pull these up now. So grab these two. That was not what I wanted. Just pull you up. Pull you up.
Fire.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have the loop on. Like now.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
So actually, you know what? Now I have an idea. So if we cut this, split, and then shimmy that over there. Can you not shimmy that over there? Seriously? Seriously? I don't want to move it. Don't. No, I want to trim this. Okay, well, fine. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Split. You. Go away. Don't erase. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. So Logic's not going to play nice with me. There we go.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
Because there's that double T that's just bothering me. It's like, I don't know what the issue is.
Moment you.
I probably need a curve, don't I? Okay, we'll try an automation curve really quick here. Automation curve tool. Try that. Don't know how well this will work, but whatever.
Moment you choose. Moment you. Moment you choose.
Okay, so I think I just need to pull it down all the way and use a curve.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose. Moment you.
So try that curve.
Moment you choose. Moment you choose.
So where was the original slice? What the heck? Okay, so I guess what we'll try to do is we'll go back down to this slice here. Oh, that's right, I didn't have it expanded. I'm losing my mind. Fixing the minimal. Actually, you know what? Sometimes people will say, you know what, just don't worry about it because like it's such a small detail no one will notice, but I notice. It's like, so it is kind of true. I've seen some professional tracks like, oh my gosh, terrible example. Borges's track Invincible. They cut the vocals instead of fading them. And for the life of me, I don't know why, but it sounds terrible. So like in the second bridge, you could tell it just cuts in. It's like, what did you do there? So that might have fixed it.
Sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
That sounds like it fixed a lot of it. Now we probably just need to tweak up the automation up here. And if I could find it. There we go.
Moment you choose.
So we'll see if we could fade this out a bit nicer.
Moment you choose.
So that's too much. So try to cut it.
For the moment you choose.
Fade that one in a bit more.
Moment you choose.
Don't fade that one in more.
Moment you choose.
Kill the curve.
Moment you choose. Moment you. Moment you.
I'm losing my mind.
Moment you. Moment you choose.
Is it because I have a slice right here? Are you kidding me? It's probably... So I have two different T's that are overlapping, I think. No? Yeah. Okay. Well. Thank you. Can we get rid of this? I have no idea what's going on right now. Oh, is that where I cut the two things? No. Why is there a slice there? There shouldn't be a slice there. That's weird. Because theoretically... Actually, I know how to fix this. It's a cumbersome way, but... Well, that helped. It is sliced. I didn't think did I slice it? What the heck? Now I'm really confused. So undo, 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 join. Oh, it didn't join all the files. Oh, are you kidding me? Do I have to hit undo like a bajillion times now? I don't even think I could go that far back. Because now there's that nasty slice there that I don't want. And granted, it shouldn't be doing anything. I think I'm just going to ignore it for now. Because I'm starting to get frustrated with this.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand.
No, that's terrible. I can't leave that in there. Oh my gosh. So okay, is it the problem right there? Try this. So I'm just gonna try to ease it and get a very small T out of this. I don't know if that'll work though.
For the moment you choose
it cuts it. This is bugging me.
to take my
So what do we have without it? How terrible is it without it?
moment you choose to take. For the moment you choose to take my.
Okay, so can I choose a different section? God, I'm really upset that I split it like that now. Because for some reason they won't join again. I should have hit undo instead of join. It's gonna kill me now. Okay, so it's right here.
And you choose, meant you, meant you, choose.
So that's not the T. That's something else entirely, is it? It is. And then we'll just try to move this around, I guess. It's gonna be so hard now. Almost. Except there's a breath there that I don't like. Wait. No, it's the...
You choose to take. You choose to. Waiting for the moment. You choose to take my.
Okay, so that's kind of working. I mean, that's a lot more acceptable, I think. Okay, so we're probably going to wrap this up here. Just listen to it one more time, see how much I hate it, and then we'll settle.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for
see you,
the
right.
moment you choose to take my hand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my hand. Cause love's the warmest color and joy's the sweetest song. So you better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
And then messing with this over here, we already determined would be a horrible mistake, but we're going to do it anyway, just really quick. So I'm just going to do 2 points here. Boop. And put a volume dip here.
Cause I know it won't listen carefully, cause I know it carefully, cause I know carefully, cause I know it won't, cause I know it won't.
There we go. Okay, so this gets rid of that one.
Better listen carefully, cause I know it won't be long. Oh.
Okay, so that one fixes that there.
The fire in the hourglass, it burns away the sand. Waiting for the moment you choose to take my.
I'm going to fix that later. Okay, we're killing the stream now. It's been 2 hours. Time to wrap up. Sorry, guys. We're going to fix this later. I'm not sure how, because I don't know how to fix these tracks. Theoretically, they should be merged, but they're not. Slice comp section at borders, trim to active comp sections. I don't know how to fix this. I mean, whoops, that's not what I want. I'll see if I can figure out something, but if I can't, oh well, we'll just try to get around it somehow. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to the next live stream with you guys. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna work a little bit more on this. We're gonna finish adjusting the vocals in terms of mixing, and we're gonna do some pitch correction and stuff. And then theoretically, the vocals should be good enough, and then we'll know for sure if it's worth doing the rest of the vocals, because it's gonna be very similar to this process, pretty time consuming, and we'll continue. We'll start structuring out the song. I also came up with a drop melody that we'll be using next time. Not next time, but when we get into that section. I have it recorded on my iPad. I was just kind of messing around on the keyboard, and I came up with something. So we'll toss that in later, see if it works. And it should be pretty good, actually, because I really like the sound. I just need to make sure it's in key. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.